Curious thinking, an evolutionary approach to conscious control. Curious thinking represents a unique approach to the application of Alexander technique principles, offering students an unprecedented pathway to transformative change that can begin working within their very first lesson. This unique form of conscious control works alongside traditional hands-on approaches by teaching individuals to become their own teachers through the power of directed attention and curiosity. At its core, curious thinking operates on a fundamental neurophysiological principle. When you direct your attention to areas in your body where you're already experiencing ease, you create a template that your autonomic nervous system can use to guide other areas toward a similar state. This isn't merely wishful thinking or a placebo effect. It's a sophisticated application of how our nervous system naturally seeks balance and coordination. The mechanism works through what neuroscientists understand about attention and neural plasticity. When we focus our awareness on sensations of ease and comfort, we're essentially turning up the volume on those experiences. This heightened awareness creates neural pathways that the brain can then replicate and extend to other areas of the body. The result is a ripple effect of relaxation and improved coordination that spreads organically throughout the system. Areas of ease in the body are typically associated with parasympathetic nervous system dominance, the state often referred to as rest and digest. This is the opposite of the sympathetic fight or flight response that characterizes stress and tension. When curious thinking helps you identify and highlight these areas of ease, you're effectively reinforcing parasympathetic activity. This biological reality is what makes curious thinking so powerful. By consciously directing attention to existing ease, you're not trying to force relaxation or manufacture calmness. Instead, you're working with your body's natural tendency toward balance and allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to do what it does best: create conditions for healing, restoration, and optimal function. One of the most remarkable aspects of curious thinking is how focusing on ease in one area encourages a global shift toward a more relaxed neurological state. This phenomenon mirrors what happens when you throw a pebble into a still pond. The initial contact creates ripples that spread outward in expanding circles. Similarly, when you identify and attend to ease in your shoulder, for example, that sense of ease begins to influence your neck, your back, your breathing, and eventually your entire system. This global effect happens because the nervous system operates as an integrated whole. Tension patterns are rarely isolated to single areas. They're part of larger coordination schemes that affect posture, movement, and even mental state. By introducing ease into this system through conscious attention, curious thinking interrupts habitual patterns of interference and allows natural coordination to emerge. Traditional Alexander technique has long relied on the skilled hands of teachers to guide students toward better coordination of the whole self. While powerful, this approach can create dependency, which requires ongoing external intervention. Curious thinking flips this paradigm completely by teaching students how to become their own teachers from the very beginning. The methodology represents a shift from external kinesthetic guidance to self-directed inquiry. Curious thinking teaches students how to notice what happens to the ease in them as soon as they begin to move. This subtle but profound difference shifts the balance of the learning process toward more active participation. Students develop their own capacity for self-direction rather than relying so much on external guidance. The actual practice of curious thinking involves asking yourself specific questions while engaging in movement or activity. The fundamental question, "Where else do I seem to be easing a bit?" serves as both an attention-directing tool and a pattern interrupt. This inquiry is purposefully gentle and curious rather than demanding or analytical. The process requires understanding the crucial distinction between what you need to do and what you simply allow to happen. In curious thinking, the doing involves making the conscious decision to ask the question and direct your attention. The allowing involves receiving whatever response emerges without trying to force or manipulate the outcome. This balance between conscious intention and receptive allowing is essential to the method's effectiveness. What sets curious thinking apart is its ability to produce noticeable changes within a single session without hands-on kinesthetic guidance. Students consistently report immediate sensations of lightness, pain relief, and improved coordination. They experience what researchers describe as more space in the mind and a quality of ease that feels both surprising and natural. These immediate effects aren't just temporary relief. They represent the beginning of lasting transformation. Each time a student practices curious thinking, they're literally rewiring their nervous system's default settings, which have been distorted by habitual excess effort. The brain begins to recognize and prefer states of ease over these patterns of tension and interference. Over time, this leads to fundamental changes in how people carry themselves, how they respond to stress, and how they navigate the challenges of daily life. One of the most practical advantages of curious thinking is its universal applicability. Whether you're a musician preparing for performance, an athlete training for competition, a public speaker managing stage fright, or simply someone dealing with chronic tension, the principles remain the same. The technique can be applied to any movement or activity because it works with the underlying coordination that supports all human functioning. For performers, curious thinking offers a way to maintain presence and ease under pressure without requiring external intervention. Musicians can use it backstage or even during performance to steady themselves and reconnect with their natural coordination. The method provides practical, in-the-moment tools that support rather than interfere with artistic expression. The fact is, everyone already has access to ease somewhere in their system at all times. They simply haven't learned how to recognize it, appreciate it, and allow it to influence the rest of their functioning. Curious thinking provides the missing link between awareness and application, curiosity and change. This revolutionary approach to conscious control offers hope for anyone seeking to improve their coordination quickly and sustainably. By working with rather than against natural processes, curious thinking makes the profound benefits of F.M. Alexander's discoveries accessible to anyone that's willing to get curious about their own experience of ease and experiment.